All right, live for Friday's slate, August 23rd. Um, Hopping into the recap. Nice day yesterday, 4-1. Peralta, I'm I'm kind of over this guy as a Brewers fan. He's just needed 6 innings from him yesterday, and he goes and he tries to finesse some strikeouts and throws way too many pitches. But other than that, great day. Lodolo 9 strikeouts. Braves win 3-2. Severino, fifth inning comes, walks 2 guys to get 3 there, and the Nationals pounded them. I really should have played that Corbin win at plus 180, but yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I just decided to go with the run line, but regardless, we get there. Some nice plus money to start the day. So we're just going to hop right into this one here. Angels at the Blue Jays. This one I am playing Blue Jays first 5 over 2.5 here. The team total 4.5 was like minus 130, so I didn't want to pay that much juice. But if we look at Kokanowitz, or however you say his last name, he's been giving up a lot of hits, a lot of base runners, home runs every game, or a home run every game, I should say. At Atlanta, he gave up 2 through 6, 1 homer, 7 hits, and 10 walks. So they had 10 base runners. Managed to only get 2 runs off of them. We know Atlanta's their offense is not looking the sharpest versus righties. And then Washington, almost 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned. But Oakland and Seattle beat the shit out of them. 4 innings at Oakland, 7 earned, 3 walks, 7 hits. And then Seattle, 7 hits and 4 earned off of him through 3 innings. So, I mean, he's gone 6 and 7 2/3 the last 2 games, but those are against teams that really don't hit righties very well, and they still manage 7 and 6 hits, a home run apiece, and 2 earned. Now, if we look at the Blue Jays, this team has been mashing righties the last 2 weeks here. Toronto, 8.2 walk percentage and 19.6 strikeout percent, slashing 250, 323, 501 with a 252 ISO and a 131 WRC plus. And I believe they have third highest hard hit percentage on the board today, 37.1 with a 41% fly ball rate and a 18.3 home run to fly ball ratio. So Clement, Springer, Vladdy, Horwitz, one or multiple of these guys are gonna take him yard today. They've been really good. They've started off fast lately, scoring runs. So I like the first 5 over 2.5 against this guy. He's just he's given up 6, 7, 7, and 7 hits in all of his outings. Whether he's gone 3 innings or 7 2/3, he's given up a lot of hits. And a ton of base running. I mean, 10 against Atlanta. There was 7 against Washington there, 10 against Oakland, and then 7 against Seattle. So, excuse me. So guys are not getting, or guys are getting on. They're hitting them hard, and I just don't think he's gonna have a real fun day here playing Toronto, who's been mashing the ball lately. So I went with the first 5 over 2.5 and this one. Next, Arizona at the Red Sox. I played the over 9.5 in this game. Ryan Nelson, he has been better on the road all year. It's just the way it is. But Boston at home is just another animal. They've been crushing teams at home. Nelson lately, 4 at Pittsburgh. He went to Tampa, gave up 1. So, congrats. They're not really a team that hits righties very well, but at Pittsburgh, he gave up 4. Kansas City, he gave up 4. He owned the Cubs pretty well, but, he's still given up 4 and 4 in his last 2 road games, 15 total hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, and then the home run at Tampa. So, and they had 5 hits off of him through 6. So this is a Boston team that, again, is mashing righties. 36.7 hard hit percentage, 15.3 home run to fly ball ratio, and then WRC plus they're sitting eighth at 120 with an 8.8 walk percentage, 27.5% strikeout, slashing 272, 339, and 464 with a 192 ISO. They're mashing, and then if we look at Arizona, they're number one the last 2 weeks, 10.7 walk percentage, 20.9 strikeout percentage. Average they're slashing 277, 370 with a 500 slug and a 223 ISO. And we look at the hard hit percentage, they are middle of the pack here, 32.6, 40.5 fly ball percentage with an 18.9 home run to fly ball percentage. Home run to fly ball percentage. And the weather in Boston today is blowing out to right field there, 6 miles an hour, 77 degrees I'm seeing. So, and then we got Brian Bayo. I mean, he's been better lately, but he hasn't, really consistently been good all year. I mean, just 2 outings, he's given up 1. That was at Baltimore and Texas. And at home against Texas. And we know Texas is struggling too. Baltimore's really struggling right now. But prior to that, Seattle, he'd given up to New York 3, Kansas City 3, Oakland 5, Toronto 7, New York 4. I mean, he's just against teams that can, hit fairly well. He's been getting hit up, and Arizona's just the epitome of that. And then if you look at Arizona's last 15 games on the road, they've gone over this 9.5 in 10 of these 15 games. They had 18 in the last one at Miami, 15 at Miami, 4. So two out of the 3 games they've had, like, let me do the math on that. That's like 30 some runs, just in 2 games alone. I mean, at Tampa 7-8, 4-5. Cleveland, who can't be hit, who isn't hitting right now. Those games went over in 2 of those 4. I mean, 7-6, 7-3. Pittsburgh 6-5, 9-8. Kansas City 8-6, 4-10. I mean, they're just tons of runs. I mean, they're scoring. They're allowing a lot of runs. Even to these nobody teams, or not nobody, but teams that can't really hit that well. Cleveland had a good series against them. Tampa Bay had a really good series. They swept them. And then Miami put up I don't even know, 15 runs in 3 games. So I mean, it's just a spot here where it's in Boston, Hitters Park. Bayo's been a little better on paper, but if you look at the teams, they're not that great at teams. Same with Ryan Nelson here. So I like the over here. I think we're going to see runs. Looking at Jarren Duran home run today, potentially. I don't do home run props, but I'll throw a little fun Friday home run play in potentially. I like Jarren Duran to take Nelson deep here in this one today. All right, next play. Rangers at Guardians. And in this one, I'm back in Eovaldi somewhat. Guardians just cannot hit righties right now. Let me just pull up this stats. They've just Guardians have just been awful versus righties the last month or so. I know their last 20 games have just been brutal. They can't score, they can't hit. They just look broken offensively right now. And I know Eovaldi hasn't been sharp. Let me pull his stats up. Eovaldi. He's been getting hit up lately, so I mean, I'm not. Well, obviously it's a little worrisome. I mean, he's getting up 6-6, 7-6, 4-8, 8 in his last 7 games here. Minnesota, Yankees, Boston, St. Louis, the White Sox, and Baltimore and Houston. And majority of those teams outside of the White Sox and Baltimore, they hit righties well. So there's that. But if we look at the Guardians last 10, we'll go 21 games here. So July 20th. They've managed to get 6 or more hits off of the righty starter in 1, 2, 3, and 4 games. That's 4 games, and in the last 3, they've managed 6 total through 16 innings off of righty starters, and that came off Luis Hill. Um, 3 earned, 3 hits, and 1 home run. I mean, they're not scoring either really, but the hits are just they're not showing up right now. The bats are just broke. I know they've been away from home, so that can have a little to do with it. But um, I think Eovaldi's going to bounce back here. I know he's given up a lot of hits, but the main thing here is Guardians can't hit. They've been struggling. Last time they had 6 or more hits off of a righty starter was August 9th against Louis Varland. And then prior to that, Zach Gallen and Corbin Burns, they got 8 and 7. And then 6 against off Dean Kramer. But that's it. Last 21 games, four times they've managed to get 6 hits off of the starter. Eovaldi's been rough, but I think this is a good spot for him to bounce back, and he's got decent numbers versus lineup. Let me pull those up if I can find them. Yep, 44 plate appearances, so not a crazy sample size here, but Guardians have had a 186 with a 242 woba off them, an expected batting average of 180, 222 expected woba, and a 347 expected slug. Only a 13%, 13.6% strikeout rate. Didn't walk anybody, so I mean, balls are getting put in play when he's seen them, but they're not hitting them hard, and they're not hitting them to open spots in the field. They're hitting them to defenders here. So I mean, 8 of 43 lifetime. Jose Ramirez is 3 of 17 lifetime. Andres Jimenez has the best history versus me. He's 3 of 7. He's 3 of 7 against him. So I'm, I wouldn't say I'm not worried, but I like this spot for Eovaldi to kind of come back to earth a little bit here, and have a good outing. Just Cleveland can't hit, and I'm gonna back Eovaldi to have a decent day here. I mean, if he's gonna walk some guys, so be it. But I don't really see that. He hasn't been a walker. He's given up 3 walks since July 2nd. So he's been fine. He's going deep into games. He's giving up hits, but I don't think that will really affect him too much today. Next game, Tigers at the White Sox. It is Chris Flexen Day, and I have been fading Chris Flexen on the run line all year, and I think 4 or 5 times they've managed to cover the run line, and Chris Flexen's like 24 starts. I mean, let me double check all these. How many starts he's got? Yeah, he's got 24 starts. He's 2-12. So they've won two games he started all year, and the last time they won a game was May 8th. So I mean, other than that, he's given up 4. He gave up 0 to the Cubs through 4 innings, but the Cubs still covered the run line. Shout out to the bullpen. 6 in Minnesota, Kansas City 2. They still managed to cover the run line when the bullpen came in. Just all these games, he's better at home. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's given up 2 or 3 at home compared to the road, but that bullpen does him no favors at all when they come in and they just blow it. I mean, Flexen throws a ton of pitches, walks a ton of guys. He's got 8 walks in his last 3 games, and he's only pitched 9 2/3 in those games. 13 hits, 10 earned, 1 homer. So I mean, and only 5 strikeouts. So he's not striking guys out. He's either walking them or letting them put the ball in play. And the Tigers have just been, good lately. I wouldn't say good is necessarily correct, but they've been a respectable offense. They've been scoring runs. Their pitching has been fine. I don't really think the White Sox are going to be too much of a threat. I know you got Lou Bob out there who can, take anyone deep, but this is more of a fade on Flex, and then if you look at Cater Montero, he's been better lately. 0 against the Yankees through 5. I know he had a blow-up spot against the Giants, but Seattle, 1 earned, and Kansas City's Kansas City. And Minnesota was on their run when they got to him, when they were still scoring and rocking people a month ago. So Um, I just think this is a spot where the Tigers are going to be able to get it done here, especially when that bullpen enters. They get all 9 innings. Um, Wind is blowing in, so that should, help Montero a little bit from letting up the long ball, especially to the White Sox, who don't really have anybody. You got Benintendi, maybe you could argue, and Lubob. So this is just more of a quote system play I've been on all year, just fading the White Sox when flexing pitches on the run line. Um, and it's really all there is to it. So running it back today, Tigers -1.5 +110. Uh, Phillies at Royals. It is Taijuan Walker Day, and I am playing the Royals over 4.5 at -120. If you look at Taijuan Walker, last 3 games, he's given up 6 home runs and 10 earned. He's walked 9 guys. He's struck out 11, and he's given up 13 hits. So he's been rough. Since he came back, we'll just go 2. Since he came back, 3 homers, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, 8 hits, and 8 2/3 innings. So that was against Washington and Miami. So I mean, this is not a murderer's row of teams he's been seeing, and they're putting up runs, they're hitting homers off of them. Now you're gonna go to Kansas City where they score at home. They score a lot of runs. Kansas City versus righties last 2 weeks, 6.4 walk percentage, 18.5 strikeout, slashing 299, 345, 479 with a 181 ISO. And then the hard hit percentage, they are ninth here, 36.1 with a 32% fly ball rate, but they still have a 12% home run to ground or home run to fly ball rate. And then the Phillies, coming off of that Braves series, their bullpen got used a little bit. They're not the freshest. They just used 6 arms the last 2 days. Now you're going to travel to Kansas City where they beat, they hit up right-handed pitching. They score runs, so they're going to be forced to you pull Walker at some point. Obviously, like he's only gone 8 2/3 the last 2 games, so maybe they stretch him to 5. He goes out for the 5th a little bit, but still, you're giving up 3 home runs to Miami and Washington in less than 9 innings. Walked 6 guys. You're giving up 8 hits, 6 earned. So I mean, I like the spot for the Royals. Probably Bobby Witt, Vinny, or MJ Melendez are going to take him deep today. Taiwan today, so it's just a matter of having guys on too when that happens. But it doesn't matter; they still score. And this bullpen for the Phillies. Pull that up. Where are they? Phillies, they got a 351 FIP, 408 xFIP, so they're due a little bit of regression. They have a 12.5% strikeout to walk ratio. And my page refreshed. And their teams are hitting 255 off of this bullpen, 153 WHIP, sub 80% strand rate too. So I don't think the Royals will have issues scoring runs here today at home. Wind is blowing out to left field, the left field pole, 10 miles an hour. It's going to be 85 degrees today, so I think we're going to see some runs getting scored here today for the Royals. And then the next game, Giants at Mariners. I am playing Mariners first 5, -0.5 here. I got it at -105. Scott Service got fired yesterday. And he wasn't a terrible manager. He made some questionable decisions at times, but it's not his fault that this team just can't hit, can't score runs. But with that being said, I think they show up today. Kind of point to prove type of game. Play for him, get it done. Show people that they're not a bad team, that they can actually score the ball. And you got Luis Castillo going against Hayden Birdsong. Hayden Birdsong is absolutely abysmal. This guy has not been good for a minute now. And if we look at his numbers, Birdsong, he's got the last 3 weeks, 504 Sierra, 779 FIP. He's get a 32.5% hard hits. He's got a 17.65% barrel rate, which I believe is the highest on the board today. Yep, it's the highest on the board. Only a 21% strikeout, 13.5% walk rate, 42% fly ball. Like, this guy's just, he's walking a ton of guys. He's giving up a lot of hard contact and barrels and just letting balls fly. Um, he gave up one at Oakland, but they had 6 base runners through 4 2/3. Detroit hit him up for 5. Washington hit him up for 7. Um, Colorado in San Francisco, he went 5 shutout, but other than that, 2 at Colorado through 5. Cleveland and Atlanta got 2. So I think as long as the Mariners can get 2, maybe 3, but more, I'm guessing more 2 runs, I think Castillo can keep the San Francisco Giants offense off the board, or at least home to 1. Say Seattle, not a hitter's park. So same as San Francisco here, but San Francisco hasn't really been crazy good or sharp lately. If we're gonna look at their stats versus righties here, 22nd in the majors in WRC. They got an 8% walk rate, 26% strikeout rate, slashing 224, 293 with a 363 slug, 139 ISO. They're not ripping the ball hard either. With that low ISO rate, they're third worst in the majors, 27% strikeout rate, 48% ground ball rate. They've got a 9% home run to fly ball ratio in the last 2 weeks off righties. So they're not hitting the ball hard, and I know Seattle isn't either, but 35.5% hard hit, 43.5% fly ball ratio, 10.5 home run to fly ball. And then Seattle's been at least average versus righties, slashing 217, 322, 353 with a 136 ISO, 10.5% walk rate, which is third highest among all teams here. So they're going to be able to draw some walks off of Birdsong. Castillo should, hold this lineup to at least, at most, I'm guessing 1 through the first 5. So as long as they get 2, I think this will get home. Shouldn't have a problem here. I know Castillo's been a little shaky lately, but he's better at home. This is a kind of a point to prove game, I feel like, with this team. I mean, they got their manager fired because they can't score. This lineup, their pitching rotation's been solid, but this lineup cannot score if their life depended on it. So I think they show up tonight at home, finally back home. I know there's some weather. Looks like it's 60. See some rain in the forecast. Wind is blowing out, but let me actually go to Roto Grinders. Let's see what that's looking like. But regardless, if this game gets in, I really just feel like the Mariners are going to show up here. I don't want to trust the bullpen, though. That's the thing. This bullpen scares me. So I just went with the first 5 there. Where is Seattle? Oh, that's right. Roto Grinders says they play in a dome. So maybe I'm stupid. I don't know if that roof closes. I might be dumb, but regardless, there's rain. So if they get this game in, still just think that the Mariners are going to get it done here after they got their manager fired. So anyway, that will do it today. A bigger card, 6 plays today on a Friday, but going over them again. Blue Jays first 5 over 2.5. D-backs Red Sox over 9.5. Eovaldi under 5.5 hits. Tigers on the run line at plus 110. Royals over 4.5. And Mariners first 5 -1/2 at minus 105. So that'll do it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck, and let's cash some tickets today.